I keep cussing. I'm sorry, but
I have to all of
oh
it.
really?
So
Can you do what noise do you use? Actually,
something like that.
yeah. Do like a beep, and then just like edit that onto the rest.
Okay. Hey everybody, Parks Owsley with Invent Global, joined by the mid laner for Dig Academy, Damonte. Is it still Tanner time? Are we still doing that, or are you moving on?
I think Tanner time's on hold for a little bit until like either I'm back to LCS or yeah, just until I'm back to LCS. You know, like I'm in academy now, like in my like little time chamber. I'm just gonna sit here and I'm just gonna shit on everyone until I get my spot back in LCS, and then I'm gonna shit on everyone even more, and then it's Tanner time.
Okay, and then it will be the return of Tanner time.
Yeah.
All right, I like that strategy. Do you have any timeline in mind? Are you just shooting for? You said your time chamber, so
Yeah.
obviously it means there's gonna be some time in the chamber.
Yeah. I mean, right now I'm not thinking about like win because I feel like if I think about win, I'm gonna be like just sitting here either like bored or I don't know. For me, it's like I'm just approaching it as in I need to use this time to just keep getting myself better and not get worse. Because if I were to get worse, that's how whenever I do get my chance to go back to LCS, I'm gonna look really silly, right? So for me, it's just like I'm gonna keep grinding, keep doing my best, and I don't know when I'll get a chance. Like, who knows? Our main team's smurfing. Like, Froggen popped the off. Like, Froggen was so insane this weekend. So like, they don't need me to replace Froggen. That's not the thing, right? Like, we're a 10-man unit, pretty much, right? We literally have 10 LCS players. So like, we're gonna operate that way, and we're gonna give main team the best practice they can. And you know, after spring split, if Dignitas is first place or however much, and they don't want to use me, but maybe another team wants to use me, maybe I'll be back in LCS in the spring.
All right.
Summer.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, the team is actually looking really good. And I think it's interesting that there are so many veterans.
Yeah.
So on the academy team, you've got 5 veterans.
Yeah.
You don't actually have a traditional AD carry because Phoenix is over there. How is it working with all of these? Like the tenure of the team is I don't know, like 20, 25, 30 years or something.
Something crazy like that. I mean, if I'm being honest, it's like when we first started, it was a little rough because we were trying to figure out what all of our players do. And we didn't know how Phoenix was going to play either, but Phoenix has like been smurfing every game, if I'm being honest. And over the last, like, it's literally like we've scrimmed for, I think, a week now. That's it.
That's it?
Yeah, for like a week because Phoenix didn't get to NA until like, I want to say 7 or 8 days ago.
Wow.
And then literally it took us like 3 days of kind of like inting scrims / like popping off. Like we would either have one or the other where we just like stomp in 20 minutes or lose in 5 minutes.
That's a typical scrim name.
Yeah, that's like
game,
a typical clutch gaming thing too. So it's like, I guess it goes with it. But now it's just like we randomly 3 days ago flipped some switch and we've just been stomping everyone. Like even our scrim days, we're just like going home an hour early because our games are just like over. So I mean, I don't want to be cocky. It's like no point. I'm in the academy, you know. It's like I'm just gonna sit here, but I am excited to see like when we do get the lower tier LCS scrims, how we do against teams like that.
And what is your mindset? I mean, you're talking about improving. That's the main thing. Are you taking academy to win and look good, be really strong, you know, go to the playoffs, etc., or are you just like, I can't play this champ on stage. I'm always bad at it. Let's just do it.
I mean, it's like all of the above, to be honest. It's like I'm just going to use it to make my uncomfortable things comfortable. I'm also going to use it to win academy. Like, that's our goal. We want to win academy. And then I'm also using it to, like, I don't know, just refine. Academy is much different than LCS because usually in academy, you have, like, I don't know, at least for me, I've had a lot more control in the academy teams I've played for than the LCS teams I played for. So it gives me a different perspective on the game, which is, like, really fun for me because I feel like both the times I've played in LCS, I've, like, kind of been filling this role. Whereas now in like academy, I kind of play the way I want to. So like it's kind of making me learn different strategy too, which is good.
That is nice. And for all of the Tanner fans out there, I guess now if they watch your academy games, they'll get to see more of a true representation of the way you like to be playing.
Yeah.
So that's cool. That's an upside. I can get behind that. So I wanna go back to the last time I talked to you in this room. Was at the Gauntlet right when you qualified for Worlds, which was amazing. And there's some quote, I don't remember it exactly, but something about like, there's no way you go there and play against Faker and not get like 10 times better.
Yeah.
and you played against Faker. So
Yeah.
I want to know, like, what was that experience like? Like, reflect back on it. Like, it must have been difficult.
Yeah.
And what came of it? How much better? Are you 10 times better or 8 times better?
I mean, I'm definitely a lot better. I think going to Worlds opened my mind a lot because especially this Worlds, like Season 9 Worlds was so eye-opening for so many mid laners. I hope so. Like, you literally saw a play like Doinby, who's like just picking random things. I mean, this is sick. This is sick, by the way. But either way, like Doinby's literally picking stuff that no one else picks, and he just pops off on it. It's like, damn, maybe if like you just open your mind more, you're actually gonna be able to do a lot more like unique stuff to get wins. And like, I think that's the biggest thing I've added to my gameplay. And yes, I did play versus Faker, but we got absolutely stomped in our 2 games versus SKT.
Wait,
no,
I thought one of them was good.
no.
Oh, okay, maybe it was just
None of them were good. They were
Okay.
just. I keep cussing. I'm sorry, but
I have to all of
Oh,
them,
really?
So.
Can you do what noise do you use? Actually,
Something like that.
yeah. Do like a beep, and then just like edit that onto the rest.
Okay.
Nice.
I'm gonna put your beep on.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah. And then what else are you talking about? We got
Faker,
by SKT.
Faker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. I got to lane versus Faker, but then he TP'd bot at like level 4 and got double kill. I'm just like, okay, guys, blows. The game's over, I guess. But
Bleeping.
but I sorry, but real talk. When the most improvement I got was like scrimming. We got to scrim Invictus Gaming and like stuff like that twice or something. And I'm playing versus rookie, and I'm like, what the hell?
Wait.
Like, is this even possible? Like, I don't know. I mean, just like the way he plays his lane phase and the way he impacts the map is unlike any player in the NALCS. Like, I can confidently say that. It's like absurd how good this guy is, especially how he plays with his team. And it's like something that NA lacks a lot. Like, literally, I watched LCS this weekend and I'm seeing like Azir get picked, and I'm just kind of scratching my head because I don't really understand why. Like, I understand that Azir is like a counterpick to Orianna, right? But what people are unable to understand is that there's more to the game than lane phase, and I think that's where NALCS lacks, because a lot of players will just play for their lane phase, and then after that, it's like there's nothing else, you know? And then like you have players like Doinby, he goes down 30 CS every game, but he impacts the side lane all the time, and it's like that's how you should win games. Like, that's like my opinion after Worlds. It's like you need to be impacting the entire map, not just like playing for your lane phase, because you can look good in 1v1 like every f***ing game. Like, you know, it's because I went on the Travis interview, and the Travis lets me cuss all the time.
Yeah.
So I just like let it go. But either way, I think like the way that FPX, IG, those teams play specifically are just unparalleled. G2, actually, G2's in there as well. Yeah, we even scrim versus G2.
So
I could talk about G2 scrims. I
Okay,
guess.
yeah.
That was so long ago, but either way, it's just like me and Caps just coin flipping mid over and over.
really?
Yeah, we just ruined the scrims for our team.
So you? Well, I guess Caps does that. So.
Yeah, that's what I heard. So I was like, oh, I gotta out finger this guy.
There you go.
Have you heard that? Like fingering? End the interview, dude. End the interview.
Moving on. So I wanted to ask, who is the most fun to play against, or who do you think was the most impressive? Because you were talking about rookie, but you actually played against Faker. You also played against Caps.
Out of our group, the best team was SKT for sure.
Yeah.
And then scrims, it was definitely IG. Like,
Okay.
definitely, like, it was just how they play was so crazy. They're all so selfless is the biggest thing. They don't ever greed for anything.
Wow. So is that something? I mean, I feel like in NA we don't take advantage of the advantages that teams had created for themselves.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting that maybe they don't greed for things. Maybe we're greeding for the wrong thing here.
I mean, a lot of the NALCS players greed for themselves, but the other teams greed for the team. It's like, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Like mid laners, I think actually I've been watching the Immortals games, and Ica, I think a lot of people were shitting on him, but he's like roaming so much on like every champion in just the 2 games, right? And I literally think like you should play the game that way, because when you get mid prow and then you go to the side lane, who cares if you miss the 6 or 7 CS that's in the mid if the enemy bot is dead and they also miss a 6 or 7 CS? Like, bot is the most OP role in the game. Just kidding. Mid's really broken right now, but I'm just saying it for fun. But
It's not jungle.
Jungle's broken too, but it's mid jungle. Mid jungle is meta right now. Like, it's so OP. But yeah, it's just like, what can you do when the one mid laner dives a side lane and the other mid laner gets a tower plate? Who cares about the tower plate, man?
That's fair. So are you gonna try and do anything meta defining? Like, can you like one trick TF for us? Like,
It sounds like not a good investment in my time.
That's probably fair. All right. So I want to ask too. You are getting to play with Acadian.
Yeah.
Which I know is one of your good friends. and people have talked about that. It's like a really cool thing. So how's it playing with someone who you were so close to outside of the game, and then you end up on a team together? Because normally it's like, oh, I know the guy.
Yeah.
We're playing together. Now we're friends. But it's kind of the other way around.
It's been interesting. Me and Matt are really close. For anyone who doesn't know, like we hang out a lot during the off season even, and we talked about it a lot when we learned that we were actually going to be on the same team. We're like, damn, we got to really try hard to make sure this doesn't impact our relationship. Because if you have a bad day of scrims, like if I'm being honest, you don't really want to be with your teammates that much. Like you kind of just want to go home, right? But like the thing is, me and Matt actually live together too. Like we have our own apartment together, so we're with each other all the time. So we like figured out we're just like. Honestly, as soon as when we're at work has to be work only, and like we have to be able to criticize each other fairly. And if we ever get to the point where like we go home and we're salty because Matt told me I should have gave up the cannon minion to go to the jungle and get a free kill, like that's not going to be good for our friendship, and it's not going to be good for our like game either. So honestly, it's been really awesome so far because especially Matt is like a really good teammate, I actually think, because he just calls people out when he literally just calls people out when they do stuff that shouldn't be acceptable. And I think a lot of the teams I've played on in the past, like everyone is really reluctant to say what they want. Even me, like I don't want to hurt this guy's feelings. Like I know this, I should say this, but like, what if I say this and he reacts poorly? It's not going to be useful, you know? But like Matt has been like, he also made it like his goal, is like his like New Year resolution or something. But he was just like, I want to tell people what I think when I feel it. Because he said to me a lot that he didn't do that in TSM, and he like really regretted it because it kind of made the team atmosphere slowly degrade. And so far, it's like every time someone is doing something, we just call it out, and it's kind of spread to all 5 members at this point.
Well, maybe that's the new meta that you can instill. Just calling people out, but being chill with it.
True, yeah.
Because NA needs that. I would just based on what I've heard from coaches over the past couple of years.
Yeah.
So anything else? Let's see. I mean, nope, I'm not gonna ask that. Anything else you want to say for fans?
Yeah,
that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I mean, I think one thing I could say today, some tragic news actually happened. Kobe Bryant passed away in a helicopter crash, and I think that guy, I watched so many interviews of Kobe Bryant, everything of Kobe Bryant. Like I was obsessed with this guy for a long time, just like how he operates in a team environment and how he sees life, stuff like that. I think if none of you guys have ever actually took time to actually see how this guy functions in a team, or like how he thinks about life, thinks about competition, you guys should really take your time and go look at some of that stuff. I think he has an insane mindset, like always positive. He taught me so much about myself, about how I should treat others, and just want to say rest in peace. I think it's just terrible news.
Yeah, it was. Well, thank you for that.
Yeah.
And thank you all for watching. Go watch Tanner do some of more of his own style this year in Academy, and watch him smurf. And thank you for watching. Watch more Invin Global YouTube content by liking and subscribing below. And we will catch you next time.
I ruined this interview.
No, it's fine.
So bad.
Beep.